Hey, what's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing a support coaching on Rakan with my student. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Projucky. I just hit Challenger playing Enchanter, just started in CLOL, and have played like AVL a little bit, so just kind of getting into the scene and trying to get better and honestly just become a better comp player, mostly.
Yeah, that's really good. So this is going to be a little bit more focused on competitive rather than solo queue, but this should apply to solo queue as well. So for every single game that you play, there will always be a point at which, like, if you play with pro players, which you have, you will hear them just say like, go next. And they're not doing that because they just want to be toxic. They're doing it because they know their chances of winning are just gone, you know? And if you see that and you're like, we can scale, there has to be like a step-by-step process with that. You can't just be like, I'll scale and then not have a like an actual plan as to how you're going to do that, right? So in this game specifically, I'm gonna teach you about the Mr. and Mrs. President, okay? So Mr. and Mrs. President is just the person who is the most effective in this game that can carry that you're gonna play off of. So I'll throw that towards you. You might not have the right answer. You might have the right answer. Doesn't matter. Just give me an answer as to who your Mr. or Mrs. President is.
I think it would Sivir.
Yeah.
That's who I would say.
Yeah.
It's like maybe not the easiest game for Sivir to play, since I think Sivir loves to hit Scion and have stuff bounce.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, there's a lot of people who are like, you know, Callista and Aurora are jumping around, Jax dodging. But I still think scaled fed server is probably like the most important win con.
Okay. So
maybe Mbessa.
Yeah. So okay. Wait. So you're right about traditionally, like in a team comp like this, you would want to front to back with Sivir. But do you think if you front to back in this team comp, you'll be able to win? Do you think your front line is strong enough to withhold their engage?
I don't know. I guess not. But,
why?
I mean, they don't really have like a ton of damage. Like, there's a lot of like upfront damage, I guess, with Aurora.
Mm-hmm.
Callista will fall off later.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're not like super tanky.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll make it a little bit more specific because I want you to get to the right conclusion, which is if you ever get hit by a Scion R, right, in a team fight, are you ever living?
Me, like, no. I get bursted pretty quick personally, right, as Rakan.
And like, yeah. So in a straight up 5v5, so I'm bringing this up. There's 3 different ways you can team fight. One of them is front to back. So you know how front to backs are. You just stand in front and then let your ADC hit. And then there's range comps where you play to pretty much outpoke the enemy and outrange them. And then there are flanking team comps where you have to have a flank to get on their backline, otherwise you will lose. Okay. So in this game, if you or Volibear get hit by a Scion, a Nico engage, or like a prolonged fight with Jax right on top of you, you will lose. Okay. And the reason why is because your team comp cannot withstand their engage. But okay, if the Scion ults forward, right, and your Mbessa's fed as shit and she ults on top of Callista, you follow and Volibear follows, do you think you can win?
Yeah.
Okay, so you never want to give them an actual 5v5 unless you get that condition where you're diving onto the enemy backline. Okay, this is really important. So when you're assessing who your Mr. or Mrs. President is, number 1, how is your lane? Okay, so obviously you have to start off the game in the early game. What do you think your 2v2 is like? Do you think it's winning in push, in fighting? Do you think you can ever win?
I think it's winnable. I think Callista Nico is a strong 2v2 the first few levels, but like if anything, we can just like Sivir W the wave and like kind of make it neutral that way. Or I think like if I find good engages, like it's always winnable against them. They're not tanky, right? So if like I hit some crazy Rakan W and start off a good engage, like we can trade and win trades. Like it's kind of skill, I think.
Really? So if you had to put this in percentages, okay, you would say it's like 50-50?
I mean, I would say it's probably like 65-35 in favor of Nico Callista.
Yeah,
I guess.
that's not skill based matchup. That is not a skill based. If you're
Okay.
above, if you're like above the 5% threshold, like that skill matchup. Okay, just think about it like this. Okay, if this Nico just stays at range, Nico Q is undodgeable, by the way. Okay, if she stays at range and just spams Q on your Sivir and Callista chooses to pressure your Sivir instead of you, is there ever an angle where you're able to W on top of them if they're playing with their range, right?
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
They're good.
Yeah. So you're going to suffer in this lane. So that's really important. Okay. You are going to suffer in this lane. So it affects whether or not this person's going to be Mr. or Mrs. President. Okay. Meanwhile, look at this beautiful matchup, right? Obviously,
Yeah.
Ambessa's not playing, she's not going to like solo kill the Scion, but at the same time, he's not going to like get fucked, right? So
It's free scaling.
yeah. And then, I mean, okay, if there's ever a world where this bitch has 5 kills, okay, then you can change the Mr. or Mrs. President. But until that happens, when you load into game, you have to have an idea of who they are, right? So this game would be this. And then you said you lose and fight unless you get a good W. So it's kind of hard for you to do that. If you lose prio, are you giving up the entire wave? Like, how do you want to play the wave? Are you gonna just give up the first 3 waves, or are you gonna slowly contest, lose HP, and then they can like either invade or take a reset? I just gave you the answer. Fuck. But the important part is like, if you're losing, you have to know how hard you're losing. So if you were versus a Karma, what do you think the lane would be like? So Callista Karma.
It's like even worse, like even more poke, honestly, I think.
No, it's the opposite. So it gives you okay. Well,
her. I guess Nico CC is
yes,
like, or
yes.
Karma's CC is like more delayed. I would maybe more conditional. I don't know if that's the right verbiage.
Yeah. That's perfect. So in lanes where you like for Rakan, right? He's never going to be the type of support that like wants the hard fight unless his ADC is really, really, really strong, you know? Nautilus, Leona, Rel, those are champions that are going to consistently want to go in. Whereas champions like Rakan, Alistar, there's one I'm missing, Braum, those are the champions that are going to receive engage. They're not going to necessarily die in one trade, but it's not the best for them to be constantly trading. Anyways, so that was a lot.
Sure. Yeah.
But this whole process that I'm telling you, I'm not saying this just so that like I can like extract information out of you. Every single challenger player that you will play with is thinking about, okay, not every single, that's a fucking lie, but in the higher like top 50, let's say, players are thinking about this actively every game.
Sure.
Okay. So other than that, do you think your jungler is a farming jungler or a ganking jungler?
That's a last pick. A little bit of both. Ganking, lean ganking. I think.
Yeah, I mean, Volibear is more ganking than Jax. That's kind of how I would put it. But definitely, like, Volibear doesn't always want to look to like 3 camp gank. So difference between like ganking and farming is like whether or not they would be willing to skip their camps to do a gank, right? So do you think Volibear would be willing to do that?
Yeah, if it was high percentage.
Yeah. And then Jax?
I'm gonna say no because
Yeah.
you kind of said earlier that he's more farming. But frankly, I don't necessarily know that. Like I'm accepting what you're telling me, but I didn't necessarily know that. But sure, I think he's more farming now.
Let me put it like this. Uh, so when okay, when you're classifying the junglers, okay, there's every jungler wants to full clear. Like that's not like no jungler wants to lose camps for nothing. But the ganking junglers have something, which is usually CC or high damage, that makes them willing to skip camps to get a lead. So that lead will be more than what they would get with their camps. Okay. So with Jax, he can't really lock people down for long, right? He's level 3, like his champion's kind of ass. But champions like Volibear, champions like Shaco, right? When you think of Shaco, there's no way you're thinking like this guy's just gonna full clear. Okay, he can, but every challenger Shaco that you'll see will try to 3 camp bot lane.
Yeah.
Who else? I'm like fucking short circuiting. I had 3 hours of sleep. One sec. I'll just bring up the tabs just so I can give you an idea. Actually, let me ask you. Do you think Echo is a farming jungler or a ganking jungler?
Probably more farming because
Yes.
CC is kind of conditional.
Yeah, exactly. That's really good. Jarvan.
Ganking.
Yeah.
That's just like the number one example.
Yeah, exactly. For the most part, like most junglers are farming, unless they have like hard CC or good engage. Okay, those are 2 pretty good examples of champions that you'll probably see in solo queue and then in comp. But other than that, I want to get into the game. So, okay, I will turn this down a bit. Okay, maybe I don't. Okay, maybe I'm not gonna review the comms right now. I can try to like look out for things after, but for the most part,
Sure.
the things that I would be looking out for right now is just like whether or not you have a level 1 plan. So okay, you just pinged immediately. I'll turn it back on. Okay. Wait. Did you guys swap?
No, we just asked for Mbessa to use their ward for our lane, or Ray did at least. He called that. I honestly had never seen that before, but yeah, Mbessa. We use Mbessa's trinket bot lane for the lane, and then Mbessa just goes top.
Okay. I don't really know what I haven't seen that either, so I won't comment on it. But regardless, this ward is really good, and you need it in this lane. Why do you think you need it?
Yeah, I agree that we want a lane bush ward because, I mean, it gives us a little more information to try to dodge Nico poke.
Mhm.
And I mean, before this session, I would have said because I think that the lane bush can help us potentially contest prio. Like honestly, if you asked me before the session, I would have said we should put a ward in the middle bush and see if we can like
Okay.
play bushes. But I'm accepting that is incorrect.
Sorry, I'm just trying to.
And obviously, Sivir didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
I was early on the same page.
So that's just so okay. Don't ever shit on yourself for that kind of stuff. This is just like Erase played like 1,000 more games of competitive than you have. So when people, okay, so I'm gonna say this to you and to everybody out there. If somebody tells you, okay, have more confidence, okay, having more confidence means that you're more willing to make plays and like pretty much shot call a game and lead yourself to victory. But the fucking trick with this is you don't get confidence out of nothing. You can't just fucking out one day have confidence. You build it over time. So when people are telling you have more confidence, they're just telling you rush the process. And the process is you have to make plays. You're going to lose. You're going to lose on some plays. Like, for example, what you just told me, right? Had you warded this bush and then they walked up and you didn't have a ward in this bush, they would literally just continuously walk out of the bush, auto you, walk back in. Walk out of the bush, auto you, walk back in. But the difference between this ward and this ward is that now, okay, if they hit you, let's actually, did they Nico Q you or did they, let's see. Okay. So Callista auto, right? And because you have this ward in this bush and she didn't walk out of the bush, her mistake. But what should happen is she should be around here in this bush or outside of the bush and then autoing you, right? These minions are going to aggro onto her. So if you didn't have this ward, the minions would not aggro onto her. And the reason why it's so good for you to ward this bush is not only because of the poke. If you take damage, okay, and these minions aggro onto the Callista while these minions are hitting your minions, where's the wave going to push automatically?
Yeah, it's pushing into us. We can, like, setting up a freeze.
Well,
potentially.
Okay.
The first steps to the wave is pushing that way.
Well,
I skipped some steps.
Yeah. I'm not trying to shit on you. I'm sorry. It's just like I'm just trying to think of ways that I can help your thought process. But yeah, just think about it as like it's slow pushing into you. So the more autos they deal to you, obviously I'm not telling you to give them lethal tempo, right? But the more autos they put into you, the faster this wave pushes in. And Array hitting this wave actually kind of denies that, so he shouldn't do that. You guys are never contested. You're never going to get pry on this lane unless they literally AFK. But at this point, standing on this line, okay, because you have this ward, is better than having this ward and then being only able to stand on this line. This ward, okay, gives you the ability to walk up further in the lane.
Sure.
Okay. So you don't sound too convinced, but
we'll... yeah. I'm seeing it. I get it.
Okay.
Sorry if I like respond or don't respond. I'm taking my own notes too. So
okay.
I'm writing this down.
Sure. Okay, so you see, okay. So you see what Array just did? Like, he's not doing this for no reason. He's tanking autos from this Callista and he's getting lethal tempo. So this trade is better for him in terms of HP, but at the same time, these minions are hitting the Callista. Yeah. So Callista is griefing by doing this. Nico should have sweeper. She should sweep this bush and then they should walk towards this bush and then zone you guys up to here. Okay. So what you should do is you're the one that's supposed to take damage instead. So I'm not telling you to like walk on top of Array and then take the Nico Q to the face, but you should not be clicking out this way. You should be clicking to tank autos over here. And then obviously I'm going to go into ability usage a little bit later, but queuing like this, think about it like this. If you're playing Blitzcrank, right? Would you ever queue here?
I mean, maybe. If I feel like if I can hit it, is it really that bad?
So hitting abilities. Okay. Have you ever watched a competitive, like a pro player play Blitzcrank?
I guess I probably haven't.
Okay. Well, no. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't change too much. It's just if you've seen the situation, it's so like the importance of Blitzcrank Q level 1 is so important that is like the hyperbole I'm trying to give you for when you use your abilities. Okay. So whenever you use an ability, I want you to have a reason why you're doing it. Okay. So number one reason you would do it is because they're walking past this line into you, right? Landing abilities on people that are walking into you is easier, right?
Yeah.
So right here, you can walk like this way. Obviously don't walk on top of Array again for the Nico Q because it's AoE. but they're going to auto you 2 times and the wave's going to push into you. And then guess what's going to happen? You're going to get a Q heal and you'll be back to full HP. And this wave will be pushing into you. That's only if they're walking into you now. Right now, are you in range to Q?
Yeah, no.
Okay. When it's max, so you queuing like this, okay? This is a 30% play. Okay? Because yes, they do want to walk up and contest you, but at the same time, they're not gonna just give you Qs for free, you know? They're gonna space you. So that's a 30%, but let's say they're around here in this bush. Let me clear that. So this is 30%. If they're over here and you queue like this, what do you think the percentage is?
Like, I don't know, 75%.
Yeah, right? And just by waiting, you just saved yourself 100 HP. It's not 100, right, but basically you gain a Q in terms of damage, so you deal damage to them and you heal damage back. And your wave is pushing into you. So you see how like in the first 30 seconds of lane, I just talked so fucking much about these random ass concepts. This is the type of shit that they're thinking of that you might not be thinking of. Okay. So I'm just gonna
this is good. I'm not. I'm usually thinking, when am I getting my next Senna soul from these minions? That's usually what I'm thinking. So this is good.
Even with that, you can also we'll focus on this game, but even with Senna, there's a way to like tailor the same concept that I just talked about, which is trading HP for being able to get minions to be super beneficial for you. So I'm not gonna harp too much on it, but this is kind of the explanation on this wave play that already did. Really good Q, amazing, love that one. But okay, they're just really hard griefing. I don't know. Okay, you know what? This is really good for you because now they're contesting the wave and they're half HP, so you can win this 2v2. Okay. So this is a fundamental of engage, okay? So whenever you're engaging on somebody, number one, I want you to like, when you play Nautilus, right? Is it hard for you to land Qs?
Sometimes.
Okay. So the reason why I asked that is because there's 2 types of support players. There's usually just like the enchanter players, and then there's the engage players. This fundamental I'm about to teach you does not apply as much to enchanters, so people don't learn it when they play enchanters. Okay. So right now, you have committal CC and then you have non-committal CC. Okay, so what is non-committal, or not non-committal, but guaranteed CC and then non-guaranteed CC? What is your W a guaranteed CC?
No.
Why?
Because they have to be in my circle for it to hit.
Okay, perfect. What is guaranteed CC?
Leona Q.
Yeah.
Like point click.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So your R is kind of also that, but you also have to be on top of them. It's kind of hard. It's harder to dodge a Rakan R flash R than it is to dodge a Rakan flash W.
It's a spectrum, sure.
Yeah. I'm on that spectrum. But you basically here, unless this person is any champion that doesn't have a dash, I don't want you W like this, because if this is Lucian, right, they're just dashing out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at best, what I want you to do is try to hit or engage on the champion that is closest to your ADC that does not have the dash, right? So who would that be?
Nico.
Yes. You have 2 pots. This Kalista has no pots. You have a sustain advantage in this lane with your Q plus these 2 pots. If you hit this Nico and they engage on you, who is it better for, you or them?
It's better for us.
Yes. So what I would do in your situation, a little bit differently. So this Q's good, and then this happens. wait for this Callista to hop, okay? She either hops forward and then or hops back. If this Lucian dashes forward, right, you're gonna W.
Right.
But you have to wait for the dash to happen, otherwise this happens. And then you don't get a W on her, and you don't get a W on this bitch. So
Yeah, it's awful.
yeah, well, it's not awful. It's just not good, you know? Like, usually when... okay, this is mostly a mindset thing, because I had the same mindset that you have right now. If somebody does something and it feels like it's shit for you, you should never say like, oh, I'm like playing terrible, or I made like a shit play, like, and continue shitting on yourself. You should just say like, the enemy's good. That's it. Because instead of you being shit, they're just good. And you're like not putting yourself down. You're actually putting other people up and not putting yourself down at the same time. So just think about that.
Sure.
And then, okay. This is another thing that you have to think about when you're playing melee supports. Actually, it's both enchanter supports as well, but enchanter supports have less HP, okay? So less HP means that you can tank less. Why is it that in this situation, if this was like a Nautilus, right, you would walk this way and tank the hook? Why do you think that is?
To block it for my ADC.
So
I can sustain
exactly.
Guardian.
So, yes, you blocked it for your ADC. You're using your HP to supplement for the Sivir. That's a major part of playing support. You have to be able to cover the abilities that are skill shots that are like, how the fuck do I even say this? Like they stop after one target. So
yeah.
Okay, yeah. If this was a Leona, right, and you walked and blocked the E, would it even do anything?
No.
Exactly. But in this situation, another thing that I'm seeing is you have to stay in the path for this Callista Q, otherwise Array's about to lose another 60 HP. See that?
Sure, yeah.
And then... So, at this point in the lane, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking they're pretty chunked. We can sustain. It's a pretty gankable lane for us if Volibear comes. I feel good. I feel pretty good about the lane state, I think. Array's a little low, but it's like
yeah,
not awful.
So if you were to gank, right, what would you start with?
Rakan W on Nico, or if Volibear is allowed, okay, Volibear Q.
Yes. If you are playing Nautilus, okay, and you can flash auto them, you should flash auto them. That's how you should start a gank to kill, okay? If you're looking to kill on the sequence, because you should look to kill on the sequence if your jungler's coming to gank, because if you don't, you're going to be locked in a lane that's bad for you. If you don't use your guaranteed CC on them, they will just flash out of your W. Right? And if they flash out of your W and your Volibear was here looking to Q flash, the gank's over, right?
Yeah. So guaranteed CC goes first.
Yes. Make sure that that's really, really like ingrained in your head. It's not like... What I'm saying, by the way, this is like theory when you're playing at the highest level. If you're playing versus like master players, they're not going to flash your W, okay? So I just want you to remember that what I'm saying is not always going to apply. So if you're playing in versus worse players, some plays that are non-guaranteed CC are going to work, okay?
Right.
Okay. So if you want to gank, you have to make sure that they don't have a ward. Okay. So now, can you still gank?
We do.
You do?
Yeah, Volibear will wrap around in enemy jungle, so that was fun. But I mean, yeah, we know they have vision in Pixel Brush and/or Tribush, probably just Pixel Brush, and we calm that to our jungler. So this is what he decides to do, and he still wants to go for it.
Okay, so they automatically they didn't flash your W here, but the point of this play is like you're probably gonna come out on top, but these little gaps of knowledge, like I want you to still think about it. Do not flash W. Oh my god, yes, thank you.
Yeah, I was like there was a thought in my head about doing that flash W, yes. But no, yeah, I understand that Callista Nico were sort of griefing this, and I can see how it could be better from me. So I can agree to it.
So okay, yeah, I'm gonna go back to right here. So your Volibear did like a very, very high risk play, by the way. Okay. If they're a bot lane, actually, it's mostly their Jax. I'm assuming their Jax, okay, not should. Their Jax is gonna path bot, okay? And while your Volibear is doing this, he should be on Raptors walking this way. And if he sees Volibear, he's gonna finish his Raptors. Volibear is gonna be seen. He can't walk this way for the ward. Through the ward, sorry, because there's a ward right here. If they see him, they're going to back off. And so their jungler is going to be one camp ahead at the very minimum off of this play. Your jungler is crazy for doing this. I'm just warning you. Okay.
Sure.
Their Jax should see you. He didn't.
He is clearing Raptors right now. We looked in the VOD after, and it was like extremely close. Yes. Actually, you can see like they literally missed each other by a pixel.
Yeah. But again,
high risk. I get it.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like, what is theoretically the best, okay, for them, and then you should assume that the enemy is gonna play like a human. If they don't, okay, then you can punish it. But there's no way that I'm seeing Volibear that knows that he's walking around vision 100%. You guys didn't have a ward on the Raptors, right? So
yeah, if Jax happens to see Volibear here, which Jax should, then Callista Nico just walk back under tower, and then Volibear is like giga fucked on tempo for no reason, for no gain.
So what I want you to be
lucky.
Yeah, but at the same time, these things are gonna happen. Like this is the type of stuff that I look at in VOD reviews. Okay, so the reason why I'm focusing so hard on this is that if this goes wrong, right, and their bot lane gets prio and comes and tries to invade, and their Jax has red buff over your Volibear, and you lose the early portion of the game as Volibear into Jax, this game is going to be very hard. It's not over, but it's going to be very hard. Okay, so I harp on early game, but I do it for a reason. Like I hate early game, but I love early game. Anyways, okay, so right here, if your Volibear wasn't wrapping around, actually no, that doesn't even matter. Even if your Volibear isn't wrapping around, okay, you just use Q. If you're gonna W on someone, who should you W on, and why?
I guess Nico, because they have no dash.
Exactly. And okay, extra point. Look at the Callista this entire time. She fucked up her Q, so she just used both of her abilities. Nico just used Q and E, I think. She just used E for sure. I don't know about Q.
Yeah.
But right now, they have no spells. You're going to have this W, and then Array should have his spell shield, but he fucked it up. But regardless, in this situation, they have no spells. You have one spell. You should look for the trade. Okay? If this Nico paths into you, you have to hit the person that's closest to your ADC. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
If this Nico's in this bush, she either needs to heal or flash out of your W, otherwise she is going to die. So, okay, actually, let me give you a general rule.
Vision on Callista just because they're the ADC.
Yes. So you're okay. The general, like when you're thinking of engaging on someone, you usually want to engage on the ADC, because if you engage on the support, then the ADC can kill you both, right? This is the case with lethal tempo ADCs. They ramp up in damage. So if you can't kill them in time and you focus all of your damage on the support, you will lose out. Okay. But, okay, this situation is completely different. So I want you to think about engage like the, okay, I just drew a blank. Fuck. I was going to say something really important. Give me a sec. I'm thinking. No, I lost my point. God damn it. Maybe I'll remember it here. Oh, there you go. So if you're ever, the difference between a good engage and a bad engage, okay, what do you think it is? Other than obviously like engaging on the person that's closest to you, what do you think you need to see on your screen that will make it a good play for you?
My team has to be close enough to hit.
Yes. That's exactly it. They have to be able to hit as you're doing your engage. That's a really good engage. But look at the difference between UW on the Nico and then UWing on the Callista. Right now, when you're engaging, Siver's hitting the Nico.
Right.
So I don't want to see this. This is what they call like being out of sync. When ADCs and supports like they split their target focus like this, it ends up being really awkward, right? Because he's an auto attacking ADC, so he needs the engage, but you're engaging on somebody different, and so it's not bad to W on the ADC. It would just be better to W on the Nico.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, this play happens. Okay. So next, I'm not even gonna look at the VOD yet, but what is your goal after every, actually reset start the second you take your base. So right now you're taking your base. What are you thinking? And I want you to go fast.
I am thinking that the wave is pushing into us, which is really good. The wave state is really good for my Sivir. I have a timer to open mid if I would like to, but I feel like it kind of doesn't matter that much since, I mean, it's really like early in the game to leave my lane. I kind of just want XP.
Yes, but before all that, right? The second you hit your pad, what are you gonna do?
Buy boots and a control ward.
Yes. So you have to think about your. I'm not even trolling, by the way. Like, this might sound like I'm trolling, but the reason why I'm getting so specific with this is because this is what's the word? This is like the groundwork that you need to have for every single base in the game. Otherwise, you might spend like 5 seconds in base when you're supposed to spend 1 second and then 1 second and then 1 second. So that's like 3 seconds that you should be thinking about things. It might end up being 15 seconds where you're already pathing through here, but then you see a play mid, so then you go here. And the last thing I want, okay, the last thing I want to see from you is being indecisive. Okay, the difference between a player who is, how do I say this? The difference between a player that knows that they want to like improve on shot calling and one that doesn't is this decisiveness. Even if it's a bad play, I want you to go for the play and learn from it. And then you learn why. So every single time you see somebody do it like a process really fast, just know behind that is like 100 games of just nonstop getting fucked. Okay. It doesn't sound too good, but this is just how it is. Like if being good was easy, everybody would be a pro player.
Yeah.
So
I guess just in solo queue, sometimes it can be hard to like decide if a play was good or not, or if like my team just didn't follow up or what have you on engage at least.
So
the scrims are better for playing engage or at least learning. I feel like I need to play it more.
Comp is better for reviewing because you get to flame your other teammates if they did something wrong, but you can still learn a lot from solo queue, even though it's not organized play with communication through voice. It's still, if you put T1 in a room, muted their comms and made them play a flex game, right? Do you think they would play badly?
No.
Right. Because even without comms, every single movement that you make does something. It says something. Okay. So right now I'm looking at your items fast. Okay. So there's one thing that you should buy that you didn't buy, which is sweeper. Okay. I'm just going to fast forward on the things I want you to think about. So you want to get sweeper because in this lane, having an extra ward doesn't do too much for you. So if they're pushing into you, right, which they should be, right, they're a double range into a range and a melee, so they should get push on you. If you have a ward in this river versus having sweeper and you can sweep out their vision, which one's better?
I guess the sweeper, because we don't really need vision if we're pushed in all the time anyway.
Yes. Okay. And this is more of a pattern that I see where you're playing like melee into ranged, because ranged champions, they need more information. Okay. They're weaker. They have less HP bars. So they need to scale, which is why you should go sweeper here. And then getting pink ward is really good. Okay. Really good. I didn't even need to tell you to look at. Okay. When you're when you're panning your camera, you're pressing tab. Are you thinking about something specific? Like, are you looking for something specific?
I am trying to see if Aurora has base TP'd yet. I am trying to do kind of that information both from tab and also looking at the lane, I guess. But I want to see like if Aurora had already base TP'd, like a gank mid is better because it would like ganking someone without TP is better. But if she's like in this condition, I feel like it's less
likely,
good to gank mid because she's gonna base TP at some point anyway.
Yes.
It doesn't really matter.
Yes. So
that's what I'm looking at, I think.
It's good that you're looking at the condition of the mid laner, but right now this is blocking something that's very important to me right now. What? It's the minions, okay? It's the minions.
Oh, sure.
I need to see how like the HP of the minions, right? Because if there's only 2 minions left on this wave and it's crashing into turret, are you ganking?
No.
Right? But if there's like 5 minions here and it's pushing into you, it's more likely for you to gank, right? So this is a part of information gathering that you kind of missed, even though you moved your camera to the right places. So off of base, you get your items, and then you think about what wave you want to go to. So you pan your camera to the waves, and then you decide where you're going to path. Okay? So off of pad, you should know exactly where you're going to go. Right now, you're missing vital information on what's going on mid. Also, if you're pressing tab, I probably want you to check if this Nico is coming on mid. So that's also...
I might be doing that as well.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly what.
It's good that you're timing flashes.
I see like Busio and he's like timing them to the second, and that's just insane to me. I give like minute or like minute 30 increments.
Yeah. It's mostly fine.
Best I could do.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, supports have to do a lot between base and coming to lane. Okay, so right now they're getting vision. I'm just gonna fast forward because even though there might be laning mistakes, there's other things that I want to see. Support isn't only just about laning, especially in this lane. I want to see you leave. Okay, so you're doing something I don't really like, which is when I think you're doing this because you're used to like enchanters poking from this side of the lane. But I always want you to think about it like this. Usually it's ADC matching ADC and then support matching support. Okay. Unless you're playing a champion that is good into their ADC. Okay. So you're playing Karma and your ADC is fucking useless. I don't want to see you move up and match the ADC, because what that does is it makes Array have to go to the bot side of the lane. And if Nico throws Q at him, there's nothing he can do. But if you walk into the bush and then she tries to throw her Q, you stand at the edge of the bush, and then you walk up because she doesn't have Q, it's completely different. ADCs have to CS, supports don't necessarily have to do that. So unless there's someone in the river, I don't want to see you moving up like this. Okay.
Yeah, I might also just be trying to get a runic stack. We could talk about if that's correct or not, but if I have
Yeah,
3
yeah.
runic stacks, I'm usually just thinking, let me just like throw something out to try to get a stack off.
Okay, so that's fair if you're playing a champion that has range and you're able to hit them. When you're playing melee supports, a lot of the time, I never want you to be assuming that you're going to get a good trade with your relic stacks. So you should be hitting minions for your relics. So this is the one relic you need. And then if you're only on 2 stacks, you don't necessarily have to go for a trade or hit minions. It's once you're at 3 stacks that you start losing value on your support item, because then it doesn't, like, your stack doesn't go on cooldown. You get it, basically. Anyways, so okay. Next part of the lane, I'm cramming as much as I can into this, so bear with me. But Nico just used Q, right? I'm going to teach you about ability matching, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So Nico just used Q. You need to look at that, because when you're like not in an active phase of the game. So right now, even though you're walking up for a Q, I want you to be looking at what the enemy is doing. Obviously, you look at your ADC when you're looking for engages or when they fuck up, but mainly I want to see you look at them, because if they use both of their abilities, right? So that Nico used QE on the wave and then Kalista used QE on the wave, you're gonna walk up, right?
Yeah.
You don't sound too confident.
Sorry, yeah, I was just thinking about what you were saying. But yeah, I mean, if Nico doesn't have abilities, I want to trade.
So this is what I'm.
If it looks good.
Yeah. So this is what I'm looking for right now.
Yeah, like what the heck is this?
Yeah. So the second this happens and she throws her E and this doesn't hit, where do you think you should be immediately clicking? Because your mouse is
on
here.
top of this tiny little level 3 Nico running at me in my wave.
Yeah. So she doesn't
actually looks so troll.
Well,
from Nico, that is.
Yeah, it does look troll.
And if I don't remember if I go on this or not. And if I don't find a way to get on top of her, it's like,
oh my god.
Do.
Yeah, I don't think.
What am I doing?
But this is
honestly caught me by surprise, I think.
People are gonna fuck up like this, okay? But the important part is you have to constantly be like, okay, just from the screenshot, it looks really, really weird, right? She's tanking the entire wave. She just missed her E. She's walking up with no Q. Like, this is grief, right? But in this situation, do you know whether or not Nico has flash?
We know they do not have flash.
Okay, so what should you do? If you're not able to, like, literally just walk at her because she's out of range.
I should W her. I should flash W her.
Yes.
I should do anything.
Yes, you should flash W her. With the way because you're spacing away from her, so that tells me that right now you won't be able to get in range. You have to do it really quickly to be in range, but this is illegal. This is a part of the lane where you can get a huge advantage. I want you to be thinking about this. If they're walking past the wave and you have an engage ability, use it. Don't be scared. Unless obviously their jungler is there or you're about to die to if you're about to die, then don't W forward, okay? But in that situation, you weren't going to die if you W'd forward because Nico didn't have anything. Kalista was a screen away and Jax wasn't even on your screen. But in this situation...
how is Jax even here, by the way? Is he had to have dropped camps for this.
I think he showed earlier. Hold on.
I mean, he's pathing down.
Okay, so that's what happened. he ganked mid, moved up to
mid gank.
Yeah, he did 3 camps into. Actually, I think he might have done 4. Hold on.
He has 12 CS, right?
Yeah,
so he did just his. He skipped. Maybe he skipped Gromp because maybe he dropped off of Raptors to gank.
He did drop off of Raptors. There. Yes. So during that timer where he went up, he tried to invade the Raptors. By the way, he yanked mid, saw that there was no Raptors,
and then came from there.
Yeah. So he's down in like terms of clear speed, he's down 2 camps.
So actually, the reason he's bought at 445 or whatever is because he still has his first bot side clear still completely up.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. I didn't even think about that.
Or he just like finished it, I think. I don't think he got a base off. Hold on. I'm going to see. Yeah, he didn't get his base off. He didn't get it because right here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So he's actually just, yeah, he has this red buff. So yeah, well, I even think, honestly, my mindset there is probably a little like tunnel visioned on like, it's 5 minutes. This jungler is like clearing down. Maybe he's like at Raptors by now. Maybe. Like, no way he's like here.
okay, I'm gonna make
But
the game.
I honestly didn't look at the sequence mid. I didn't know he spent so much time there.
I'll make it very easy for you. Okay, so as you're coming into lane, so they ganked mid, right? And then actually, wait, this is like way earlier. So Ryze is pushing out. They gank mid. Am I like trolling? Was it? It was earlier.
It was like at like, yeah, there.
Okay. So right here, you're basing. Everything's fine. And then as you're walking into lane, you see this. You know that he was pathing down, but he entered the mid gank through top. This has to ring alarm bells in your head.
Yeah, I definitely didn't like consciously notice that in game, though, I will say.
If you see a jungler on the map, okay, and you see the buff that they have, and then the amount of CS that they have, you can usually like determine what their first clear was from that. Okay.
Yeah.
So 3 camps, you check mid, he has blue buff, right? You're gonna think he did 3 camps into mid. And so now after the kill, it's really important. You still look, okay? I want you to have this in your mind. If there's a fight happening, you need to be looking at it. Even when you're in laning, you need to be looking at the fights because that's where people blow summoners. That's where people blow their conditions, you know, and that'll change how you play as support. Okay. So if there's action on the map, I want you looking at it.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, if I'm looking at Array's camera right now, it's on mid. So he might be having information that you don't. That's something you have to try to focus on. Mostly information.
Honestly, usually during those moments, I'm like game planning what I'm supposed to be doing. It's like maybe that stuff gets more automatic over time with experience because it's kind of a lot to track those fights on the map and also like be thinking about what I'm doing in my lane next.
Well, think about it like this, like the whole process of what you were supposed to do changed over the course of like these 10 seconds. So you formulating a plan as you're getting to base, right? You're thinking to yourself, okay, I'm going to look at mid and then see if there's a play mid, and then I'm going to go bot if there's nothing. So right here, if you get the information that this play is over and your Ryze is dead, you're immediately going to go bot. So this information is what feeds you into what your game plan is going to be, not the other way around. You don't have a game plan without the information. This is the information that you have, and then whether or not he has blue buff or whatever. Okay, so it's info and then plan. It's like if you're trying to play a chess game blind, it's not gonna end well. Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay. So the second you see this Jax, there's 2 things you have to think about. So if you dash out with your W and he follows with his Q,
it's really bad.
Yeah, why?
Because that was my CC and my escape.
Yes.
Minus my E, but like I actually gave him the jump.
Yes.
Too. It's like I gave him the gap close.
Yes. In situations like this, if they're gonna so he's gonna deal damage to you no matter what. Okay. You have to accept that the second you face check into this. So first of all, I want you to be in the habit of warding from the side of the bush. Okay. So right now I'm looking at your cursor. This ward should already be placed down. You're clicking to ward here when you should be warding like here, and you should be walking alongside the wall. Okay. If you didn't feel like you're in danger, what you did was kind of fair. I would still want you to change your ward placement, but if you don't know where the jungler is, you have to take more time with their plays, right? With getting vision.
It gives more information out of the ward. Like further in the bush, right?
No,
Like
not this word.
I mean, like it gives you a little bit more range on
But
on the other side.
what difference does it make if this is the like difference of vision? Like
My
you're
reaction
right.
time.
I mean, well, okay. Think about it like this. If you were, let's say you were this edge corner of this bush, right, and you get maximum information on what's going on, would you rather that, or would you rather? Oh, sorry. Would you rather go here all the way and risk losing your HP when you don't know where the jungler is on the map, or walk this way and 100% not have to blow your HP bar and not face check? Which one's better?
I mean, I have to walk that way. I think my issue is I'm very confident here that Jax is not here, and that's a problem, right? Because he is.
We talked about that. So that's a problem you can fix when you're coming out of base. You'll see their camps. If you don't have information, you have to ask your mid laner to either get a ward on Raptors, or you have to play safer when you don't have information. But the important part is when you get the information that you know that Jax, okay, is either coming bot or taking his base, I want you to play differently, okay?
Yeah, I can agree to that.
Yeah. And then if you're going to escape, by the way, you should be escaping with your E in these situations. Let him stun you. You should let him do that.
Yeah.
And then
I just honestly freaked out.
yeah. I mean, it's normal. If you're not used to these situations, you might end up doing the wrong thing. Okay. Oh. Okay, well, that's not how that should have gone. Yeah, your jungler griefed, but I mean, there's multiple griefs. Okay, so when you're looking at this gank, okay, you're looking at this picture. What needs to happen from your jungler?
I have no cooldowns.
Okay.
So I don't really know what's going to happen.
No, you know. You should know.
My jungler intends to 1v3 for 6 seconds.
Yeah. So how should he do that? How should he do that if he's going to do it?
Try to queue Nico, I suppose, or maybe Callista, because Jax has E.
So he's going to queue on the champion that deals the most consistent damage is these two, right? If he goes on the Nico and Nico uses her spells, she's basically a caster minion. You're a melee minion right now. Okay, think about it like that. When you use your abilities as support, you're just a minion. And then, wow, that sounds really mean. Sorry. Basically, in your head right now, you can choose he should be queuing. Right, his Q is an auto attack. You're playing versus Jax. If he doesn't queue the Callista, I want you to be thinking, you're going to Zimbabwe. Like, you're gone. There's no helping this guy. Like, okay, that sounds mean. But
yeah, no, sure.
He made the mistake, okay? He'll make the mistake in about 1, 2, 3. Okay, mistake's mid. So right now, you're either running to Zimbabwe here, or you're trying to walk towards turret and getting the fuck out to catch a wave. I don't think you're catching anything, right? Because this wave is nowhere close.
Our wave is
right.
Going to Antarctica, actually.
Yeah, so going all around the world. But this is fucked. Like, he just killed himself. If you continue this fight, you're basically what should happen, right? From what I just told you, okay? In the perfect world, once you see that this is solo queue, okay? Think about it like this, solo queue. You see your Volibear queue a Jax with E. You're thinking to yourself, like, what the fuck? And then you have to make the split-second decision. Okay, I'm getting the fuck out. So it's 5:24 right now, right? If I go ahead and look at it, let's say 10 seconds in advance. So you will have based by 10 seconds. You'll have walked back and then taken your base. Let's see where you are at 5:34. Okay. Your ADC started his base at 5:34. So you just wasted 10 seconds of tempo on the map. It sounds brutal and I sound like a psychopath, but the reason why I'm doing this like so strictly is because the game is not here to like hold your hand. You know, like when your Volibear ints like that, do you think he's thinking to himself like, oh, I griefed that play? Or do you think he's blaming you for not having your spells up? You know, like if you're looking to improve, there's going to be people that are not looking to improve, and you might get blamed. You can accept the blame, or you can realize I can go into VOD review and I can look at the play and he completely griefed this 1v3.
Right.
Okay. I'll do one more base out, and then I do have to call it because it's been an hour.
Yeah, no problem.
But actually, fuck, I want to see where you. I'm gonna tell you where you lost the game, real quick.
I can like, I can point you in the direction of the main play that I think lost the game.
Okay,
that
sure.
involved me if you'd like.
When?
Sivir's mid lane, maybe it's like 14-ish minutes.
Okay.
Volley Bear, it might be right here. I think our tower's still up, no? Volley Bear wants to engage on them. Yeah, it's got to be before this. Volley Bear, yeah, this is it.
Okay.
Because this is what I had a disagreement on with Volley Bear, and I'm probably wrong because this Volley Bear like has played LCS. But
yeah, I know.
here's what's happening right now. Jax is missing. Volley Bear wants to one-shot their mid laners if they face check the top river. I'm pretty hesitant to go in because I'm like, what if there's just a Jax waiting for us?
Okay. So whenever
And everyone told me I was wrong, so I think I'm wrong.
We'll see.
I'm very scared.
I want you to get to the conclusion yourself and know whether or not you grieved, because right now, even now, you're not sure whether or not this play is right or not. Whenever you're reviewing a point like this, like in mid, not even in mid game, whenever you make a mistake, usually the mistake that happened is either 30 to 2 minutes, 30 seconds to 2 minutes ahead of time. So the mistake happened here. Okay, so I'm going to go back 2 minutes and then we're going to play it. And then I'm going to show you what the, actually, let me see the timer. Okay, so it's 13:40. My math is not that good. 11:40. Yeah, I was thinking 30 seconds, but even that's embarrassing.
12.
Okay, so you swap to mid. Aurora is here. I'm just looking to see what side their jungler is. Okay, so he's bot. His top side camps. No, his blue should be respawning. And Nico should be. I need to see if you press tab because it'll tell me how many wards the Nico has. If she has no, actually it doesn't even matter. She's gonna base eventually. So basically she should base now. I'm thinking about her tempo. And then you should be thinking about your tempo. So you should have based. Okay, you should clear this ward and then base. Honestly, you shouldn't even.
I mean, my thought process is I can help Sivir get away with mid, but she does not need me for that. So
yeah,
it is just wasted time.
Once you get level 6 on support,
we're not diving or killing her on the timer. So
unless they need you on the wave to get a kill or pushing a wave, you don't need to be on mid waves. Okay, so right now, the second your Ambessa died here and they're taking the turret, this play is over. Your sequence is done. Yeah. So you should be looking to have the highest tempo possible. What I mean by that is, compared to your, actually, can you explain to me what tempo is?
Yeah, it's, it's being first on the map to places, set up vision first, get control first.
Okay. Yeah. So you're missing one thing, which is tempo isn't like a team-wide thing. It's an individual thing. So your tempo versus their support's tempo, the jungler's tempo versus jungle's. Okay. So it's individual.
It's like what you want to spend your tempo doing.
Yeah.
And when you want to save your tempo for the next play.
Yeah.
Instead.
But it's in comparison to your opponent, like your support opponent, and then jungle. because you can only do certain things based off of your role. So like ADC is not going to go ganking around, right? So the tempo is like, think about it like different colors if you want. You can think about like support is like yellow, then fucking jungle is orange because you get to move around as well. And then there's different kinds of tempo for different roles. But the second this happens,
they use their tempo to do different things.
yes.
Sure.
So on this timer, the second this turret's gone, I want you to get your bases. You don't need to clear this ward. Just get your base off. Because this play is over.
It does nothing anyway.
Yeah.
They could just clear it if they wanted to. I don't know why I put it down.
It's okay. Next time you put down a pink ward, if you don't want to feel bad about your pink wards, think about, can I defend this? If the answer is no, it might be a bad pink ward, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I err on the side of chucking those things around, which I've been told to chill out on, but I suppose it's probably better to chuck pink wards around than not at all. So
wait, can you
can min-max it though.
Wait, can you say that again? I just fucking short circuited.
It's not super important. I was just saying that I tend to use a lot of pink wards rather than like not at all. Like I probably skew towards like wasting gold on pink wards, which I know is like hard to do because pink wards are so important, but I've been told by people before that like maybe I use them too much. But I'm pretty much like most of the time I try to do like 2 pink wards every base, and if we're walking into a spot to control it, I do try to like throw them down and but I mean, I don't know. That's a whole point.
Yeah, that's a whole different point. Buying 2 pink wards on it. Yeah. I have to
next time.
Yeah. So the whole reason why I brought that up is because now, okay, because you based late, their support's going to be on midway before you are. And so because she's on midway before you are, because you know, she took her base before you and you were shoring on vision the entire time, she's going to go ahead and get a word here.
Yep.
So even now I'm looking at this. This is not Jax. This is Nico.
Yeah,
so
we know that.
Yeah,
and he has no wards, so there are literally 3 wards in my top side.
No. This is not.
Is that not how that works?
It's not updated. I don't think so.
He's disguised. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
This guy's toast.
Then we don't know.
Yeah. So now, okay, they have vision of this. If they're walking up, and you know that they have a ward here because she was faster than you. You know that there's a ward. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And your jungler's calling, let's go. Do you think this is a good play? Yes, no, why?
I think it's a bad play.
Okay, why?
Because they should have a ward and they should know it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And making a play that they know is happening this far in advance doesn't sound good to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like they have a lot of time to react, to bring their jungler to counter gank, etc.
Okay, so couple of things. The Nico is stupid. Okay. She walked to this bush and didn't get a word over the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why I know this, even without turning on God vision, is because she warded over this wall. You don't ward over this wall if you have vision here. Right? So she fucked up. So I'm guessing the reason why your team was telling you that you should make this play is because now at this point, you can make the play. Now that you have the information that Volibear wasn't on vision, he's on vision now, right? But they're close to him. If they want to look for an engage, or if you wanted to look for an engage, you should be walking this way. And then once it's not a play, right? And you're like, they're backing off because they see a Volibear, then you can call it off. But in this situation, they're walking towards the Volibear. So I'm guessing your team saw this in the VOD review and they're like, oh, we can make the play. But the Nico made a mistake. So what you said of this being a bad play, it should be a bad play. This guy's made a mistake.
Got it.
Okay. So your initial thought process was good, but because they made a mistake, you can make this play. Is that good?
Yeah.
So
sure.
I'm going to look at the way you guys played it. Okay. So
yeah, obviously a little mechanical fuck up there, but
You're making the game too hard for yourself. Okay, so couple of things. If you're making this play and you see Volibear doing this, what I want you to do is have the habit of dropping wards in bushes where your fight is going to go towards. Okay, the reason why I would make this fight a lot easier, okay, is because even if there's a pink ward, you'll see that there's a pink ward. You drop your pink ward as well. I'm not even joking. You can drop 2 wards in this bush, and it'll be amazing.
Drop a pink ward.
Yeah. The reason why this is bad is because your Volibear queued, hit nothing. Okay, so he has to hit the Callista because Callista has R. Otherwise, this is not good. He doesn't get it off, and then he doesn't get to Q the Nico either because she's off vision.
Yeah. Frankly, at this moment, and this is probably a bad thing for me, like maybe it's an enchanter thing, but like it was literally like even like maybe this moment I'm still like, man, I like, can we just get out? Like I really don't want to do this. And I'm not committing. I'm like hesitating.
Okay.
And, like probably just need to send it. I sent it because my team like was really yelling at me in comms, I think, to send it. So I was like, okay, here I come.
So
but, I mean, probably just need to trust my team and send it faster.
There's a difference between how you should play in solo queue and then how you should play in competitive, because in competitive, I would say either don't listen and say that it was bad and then look and review whether or not it's good, or you follow your teammates' play and then you see whether or not it was good. Okay?
Yeah.
You don't
decisive either way.
The thing I told you about earlier, you either go for it or you don't. You don't do a middle ground. Because right now, you're playing like you don't want to go in, but then you end up going in anyways. And also don't walk near the Nico R. You stun yourself.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that. I thought like Volibear was in the air that I was good to enter.
No. There's a knockup portion and then there's a stun portion. So this is the knockup and then this is the stun.
I have learned.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's just a knowledge diff. I'm not even.
Yeah.
So what you did was pretty good for this type of game. When you're playing Rakan with other engage, I want you to play like this, where you, as a kind of like a standard, you let them engage and then you RE and then W on top of them. This was really good, but obviously you got stunned, so things end up going bad. But you're never going to continue engaging on this Nico, right? Because even if you drop her to 100 HP, is she ever going to die?
No, she has Callista ult.
Exactly. So you know that, right? So maybe you're thinking to yourself, this picture looks bad. I don't want to make the play, but my team's making the play. So how can I salvage this play the best that I can? Sometimes your teammates are going to force you to make difficult decisions and it's going to look ugly, but I still want you to think about the best way you can fight. And I'm just going to tell you right now. So right now, obviously like the stun ends up mattering, but I never want you to W unless you 100% can like be on top of them once it lands. So right now, if you W, you're not landing it. You should use a little bit more of your R because your R has decaying move speed. Hit this Nico and then W the Callista.
Yeah, honestly, I think in the moment I was like, and maybe I wasn't thinking about Callista ultimate. I think in the moment I was literally just like so locked in, like, holy shit, I need to get this Nico charm now, so I'm gonna W through them.
Your team is forcing you. I hate this as a support player, ex-support player. When your teammates do this, it's because they're mad that you're not engaging. But unironically, this is worse for you as like a developing player because it's teaching you to only listen to other people. Because your play was getting the fuck out, right? But they wanted to go in and then you didn't do it. And they're screaming at you to do it. And you're always going to do something. You're always going to make a play worse when you're under this much pressure.
Yeah.
They're making it act like you're either going to fucking have world peace or the world's going to fucking burn down if you get this engaged. Like it's not that deep. But yeah, regardless, the W right on top of the Callista and then the engage. That's why your team said that you should engage here. Okay? It's because the Nico made a mistake with her tempo and didn't ward over this wall. This play is bad. You guys can't do this. If she's a human, okay? Next step is, if your Volibear really wants to do this, pink ward over here. You'll know whether or not there's a word over here or over here, and then you can make the play if he really wants to force it. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, if we have that, say we have that pink ward, and like we know from the jump, Volibear is not on vision. Like, do you think it's a good play if Volibear like gets in there and cues the Callista?
Does he have flash? Hold on. He doesn't have. Okay, this is fucking horrible, bro. What?
There's no flash on Callista Nico.
I mean, it's still pretty hard. Your Volibear
I
has.
think that's one of the reasons I called it. I said no flash Callista Nico. He was like, okay, look here, look here.
Well, he needs to be able to get on the Callista. If he can't do that, then this play is terrible. Like the Nico is just going to E him, and if he doesn't R the E, then he's not going to catch up to the Callista. And then if he does R the E, like it's just a bad situation. He needs to either have flash or he needs to be able to ult right on top of them. Otherwise, this play doesn't work. And if your team is telling you to be the first one to engage, from this range, even if you pink ward this bush, you cannot reach here. You can't.
Yeah, without flash.
Even with flash, by the way, you can't. You can't. They're going to be gone. The Callista is here right now.
Yeah.
Callista is just going to R this Nico. And you only have vision on Nico. Like, this play is, like... I don't know. This is, like...
It's like...
tragic. Forced. This is tragic, okay? Because I feel bad that they're pressuring you to do this in, like, a high-pressure situation. And then, at the same time, you're definitely, like, trying your best, but... The goal of this is, I'm not here to, like, shit on you, but I also want to give you your, want to do you justice, because this was a hard situation, and you got put under pressure, so... I think I'm not even going to look at the rest of the play because I know it's going to go really badly. Either you're all three going to die or this guy's going to die and you're going to get invaded. Something really bad's going to happen.
We just all die.
Yeah.
It was kind of the game here.
Yeah. So just off the engage, like, this is horrible. You know, it didn't even matter whether or not your teammates were good mechanically. Like, this was a bad play to begin with. Okay. The setup for the play was bad, but regardless, I think for you, I mean, I went through a lot of things, so it's kind of hard for me to give you homework, but I think...
Can I just ask real quick, like,
yeah,
if this is happening, like, still in this screen cap here, like, and I think it's bad, like how valid is it to really just walk away and let my Volibear do his own thing?
Do that. You can't do that.
Like, you cannot do that, right?
No. You would be griefing your teammates because if you... Okay, so what happened...
I wouldn't solo queue, right? But, like...
depends. Because, okay, you gave information. He made a plan. You have 5 seconds to decide whether or not you want to make this play. If you don't decide now, you're like, oh, it's bad, then it's on you.
I probably didn't calm that I really don't want to do it. I don't know what I calmed, but yeah, I would more likely than not, I said nothing. So
yeah. So if you really don't want this, you're literally going to just go, no. Okay. Like, I'm not even joking. Games can be lost over plays. Like, you literally lost the game over this. Okay. If you don't want to make the play because you know that there's a play that's better, which you can take vision and then make the play, then do your play. You can force that through comms. And if your team doesn't listen, then they're griefing. Okay? So I think in terms of homework, I would say there's a lot of stuff that we went through, but I think the number one thing I want you to think about is when your matchup is losing, I want you to think of ways that you can make the lane easier for you, whether that's taking damage or taking short trades that pulls the wave. It's really important for you to know when you can take those trades and get more EXP. Otherwise, these lanes are going to feel horrible. Okay? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm writing that down.
No, you're good. Do you have any questions?
Like, honestly, like, nothing quick. I feel like I have an infinite number of questions, but nothing I will put on you now.
Yeah.
maybe another time
Okay.
because this is really good. Yeah, there's a whole lot of information that like I need brushing up on, or just like I really just have never heard someone say. Like maybe I've intuitively like thought of it before, but it's good to like actually get this stuff to like paper and like think about it.
Yeah.
So it's good. Appreciate it.
No problem. If you want to review your games, by the way, in like solo queue especially, the easiest way, the groundwork is just either look at your deaths literally every game, or you look at players that are better than you and you study their VODs and see what they do and try to match it. Okay?
Yeah.
Those are the two really, really easy ways to improve really fast.